The council chamber of Draxus Prime had never been so silent. Ambassador Felchitha's crystalline appendages trembled as she witnessed something no sentient being in the known galaxy had dared attempt in over 3,000 cycles. A human child, no more than 6 years old, with bright blonde hair tied into pigtails, stood face to face with Scarrath, the Eternal, supreme commander of the Draconian Imperium and the most feared being in civilized space. The child's name was Emma Rodriguez, daughter of the human diplomatic envoy to the Galactic Coalition. Somehow, during an emergency summit called to discuss the growing draconian threat, she had wandered away from the delegation quarters and into the council chamber. Straight toward the dragon. Scarrath towered over the assembly floor. His obsidian-black scales gleamed beneath the chamber's luminous ceiling panels. Legends claimed each scale was harder than neutronium itself, forged within the heart of dying stars during his species' ancient evolution. His folded wings alone could eclipse small moons. And now his molten gold eyes were locked onto a tiny human girl. Those eyes had forced entire star systems to surrender without firing a shot. The Draconians were apex predators, creatures perfected by nature and hardened by a brutal warrior culture into living weapons. They did not negotiate, they did not forgive, and they certainly did not tolerate disrespect. Yet Emma had walked right up to their supreme leader. "Someone stop her," whispered Trade Minister Corlox, his 6 eyes wide with panic. No one moved. The Draconian honor guard stood motionless around the chamber, their massive armored forms holding weapons ready. One sudden movement could trigger a massacre. Across the room, Ambassador Daniel Chen, Emma's father, stood frozen behind the human delegation podium. His face had gone pale. His fingers gripped the podium so tightly his knuckles turned white. Every instinct screamed at him to run to his daughter. But he knew doing so might get everyone in the room killed. Slowly, Scarrath lowered his colossal head. His scar-lined snout, framed by teeth the size of human forearms, descended until it was level with Emma. Each breath from his nostrils created a warm gust that fluttered her dress and sent her pigtails dancing. The air itself grew hotter. Draconians were living thermonuclear reactors. Their bodies generated temperatures capable of vaporizing most organic life. Emma should have been terrified. Every survival instinct evolved over millions of years should have been urging her to run. Even Scaratha's natural pheromones were designed to trigger primal fear responses in prey species. But Emma simply tilted her head, studying him, curious, interested, completely unafraid. Then she pointed at the scar running along his left nostril. "You have a boo-boo," she said. Her tiny voice echoed clearly through the silent chamber. The scar was ancient, a wound earned during a legendary battle that had destroyed 17 warships and shattered 2 planets. Among Draconians, it was a sacred mark of honor. No one had ever dared mention it. A low rumble began deep within Scaratha's chest. The sound shook the chamber. Sensors across the station registered the vibration instantly. Everyone knew what it meant. Dragon fire. The plasma breath that had reduced entire fleets to clouds of ionized dust. This, many believed, was how humanity's brief role in galactic politics would end. Destroyed because a child wandered into the wrong room. But then Emma did something impossible. She stepped closer, rose onto her tiptoes, and gently kissed the scar on the dragon's nose. "There," she said with a satisfied smile. "My mommy says kisses make boo-boos better." For exactly 4.7 seconds, nothing happened. Coalition recording systems would later verify the timing. The universe itself seemed frozen, waiting, expecting reality to correct itself through fire and destruction. Instead, Scarrath blinked. The Eternal, the Worldbreaker, the conqueror of the Outer Rim, blinking in confusion, his head tilted slightly, mirroring Emma's earlier gesture. The rumble in his chest continued, but its tone changed. The Draconian guards exchanged bewildered glances. Even they had no idea what was happening. Finally, Scarrath spoke. "You are not afraid." His voice sounded like mountains colliding. Emma frowned. "Why would I be scared?" The chamber fell silent again. "You're just a really big lizard," she continued cheerfully. "Like my friend Sophie's iguana." except way bigger. And you have wings. That's awesome, she gasped. Can you fly? Then, without waiting for an answer, what's your name? Do you like cookies? I have cookies. She reached into her dress pocket and pulled out a slightly crushed chocolate chip cookie. Holding it up with both hands, she offered it to the dragon. The absurdity nearly broke reality. For a moment, nobody even remembered how to breathe. Then, with incredible care, Scarrath extended a glowing tongue of bioluminescent tissue and delicately accepted the gift. The cookie instantly vaporized. Emma's eyes widened. Whoa, you're really hot. I am thermonuclear, Scarrath replied. That's even cooler. For the first time in recorded history, a draconian made a sound that was not a roar, growl, or threat. It was laughter, brief, quiet, but unmistakable. Every recording system captured it. Scarrath the Eternal had laughed. And in that moment, the fate of humanity changed forever.